Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley here for EllenHudson.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing a heart and loved theme card that's perfect for Valentine's, or really any time of the year is a good time to tell somebody that you love them. And I'm going to be featuring a couple of products, some from Pink Fresh Studio and a lot from the Essentials by Ellen line. And I'm pulling in some older products from the Essentials by Ellen line. For my sentiment, I'm going to be using this one-piece stamp, hot foil, and die set combination from Pink Fresh Studio. I'm going to be using the hot foil version, but keep in mind that you can use the one-piece stamp as well for your sentiment. And then I'm going to be pulling in this Folk Hearts die set from the Essentials by Ellen line. Now, this was released in 2015, so it's an OG EBE product, and I think you're really going to like it if you haven't seen it before. They have a great variety of heart sizes in this die set. So first I'm going to start by using my paper trimmer to trim down some of this blush glimmer foil. And I'm going to get my foil press heated up here. So I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to push the power button and set this at medium heat. Now when I am using the glimmer foils with the Gemini foil press, yes, they are compatible. But I found that the glimmer foils like a medium heat on the foil press a little bit better than they like the low heat. So just keep that in mind. And I'm going to let this heat up and set my timer to 20 seconds. Now I've placed my plate onto the platform with the design or the pattern facing up. And then I'm going to place the foil on top of that with the pretty side facing the design of my foil plate. And then I'm going to put on some super smooth cardstock and I'm going to cover this with the plate that comes with the foil press, and then I'll hit the start on the timer. Now, once the timer is completed, I'm going to remove the platform from the base and I'm going to run that through my Gemini Junior, and that is going to create the pressure that I need to transfer this transfer foil, this heat transfer foil. And you're going to see when I remove my cardstock, I have these beautifully foiled sentiments, and that all happens in one pass of the die cut or the foil press through the die cut machine. So I love this blush foil, and I think it's a beautiful addition to this card and great for Valentine's. It's a kind of a nice little alternative to some gold, which I love me some gold, but I can change it up every now and then. Now I'm taking the coordinating one-piece die. This die cuts all of these sentiments all at once. I'm positioning that and holding it in place with some removable tape. And then I've run that through my die cut machine and I have all of these perfectly die cut sentiments. Now keep in mind, if you're not a foil lover, then that's okay. This also comes in a stamp version. So the stamp is also one piece and coordinates with that one piece die as well. Now I'm going to do a little ink blending, and I decided to bust out my oxide inks today. Now I don't use my oxide inks nearly as much as I should, but I have to tell you, I have forgotten how beautifully they blend. So I just have a plain piece of Nina Solar White cardstock here, and I am using spun sugar, worn lipstick, and candied apple, and I'm blending this panel of cardstock with this ink. Now, you're going to see me put on a layer of color and then move to the following color. Then I'll move to my third color, which is the candied apple. And then I'm going to go back and kind of work over the transition areas with the brush and the ink again. So I'm going to kind of blend that transition, and you'll see that here in just a moment. I did want to mention I am working with blending brushes today. They are my preferred blending tool. But if you have something else that you like to use, like the Tim Holtz blending tools, you could absolutely use those instead. And I am working on the waffle flower stencil mat today. Now here's where you're going to see me go back between those colors. And I've grabbed my pink blending brush here and I'm kind of blending across that transition area. And then I'm going to go up to the spun sugar blending brush here in just a moment and blend across the area where the spun sugar transitions into the worn lipstick. And that's going to really soften that line. Right now you can see a definite line, but as I start to work between these colors, they're going to blend into each other. And because these Distress Oxide inks stay wet for longer, you're able to kind of go back over and blend these colors together. Now I am going to die cut this and I don't want my ink to transfer. So I'm going to go ahead and heat set that with my heat tool. And then I'm going to take the largest of the folk heart dies and I'm going to die cut this panel. Now I wasn't sure that my ink was totally dry and I didn't want to get ink on my plates of my Gemini Junior. So I just covered that with a piece of tissue paper before I ran it through my die cut machine, and that prevented any ink from transferring to my cutting plates, which then could get on a future project and can be very frustrating. So that's just a little tip for you. And now I'm taking this heart and I'm lining up the tic-tac-toe die from the Essentials by Ellen line. I'm holding that in place with a little bit of removable tape. And once again, covering that with my tissue paper, and I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. And that leaves this little stitched tic-tac-toe pattern on my heart, which I think is so adorable. Now I have another heart die here. This is from the High Five die set from the Essentials by Ellen line. And I also have the Confetti Kisses die here. I've run those through using some white cardstock, and I am going to use all of these white die cuts to embellish my card. So I'm starting out with the heart from the High Five die set, and I'm positioning that right in the middle of my tic-tac-toe using a little foam adhesive. And then I've taken one of the small hearts from the Confetti Kisses and the little lips from the Confetti Kisses, and I've ink blended using spun sugar and candied apple to give those a little bit of color. Now these are the only die cuts that I added color to that I'm embellishing with today. And if you saw the title of today's video, you know I'm talking about using die cuts to embellish your cards. Now I do want to note that all of the cardstock that I use in this video or in this card project today, it's all white cardstock. So I've just done different things to this white cardstock to make it look different. But I'm also going to use that white cardstock as it is as an embellishment. And when you have little die cuts like these Confetti Kisses, they make for perfect embellishments. So I have the little lips and the little hearts. I have the X's and O's. They all cut out with that Confetti Kisses die set. And I am going to use those to create some tone-on-tone texture on the background of this card. Now this card base is created from the Essentials by Ellen linen cardstock, and I have mounted my sentiment as well as that large heart onto my card front using foam adhesive. And then I am just taking some X's, some O's, and some of the little hearts that cut from that Confetti Kisses die, and I'm going to glue them onto the background. Now these are not raised. They are right glued with liquid glue onto the card base. And so what this does is it creates a little bit of a shadow. It's a tone-on-tone effect, but it creates a lot of impact and interest to the base of this card. And the thing that I love about embellishing with die cuts is if I run out, I can just make more, and that is so convenient. Now keep in mind, I've used white on white here. If you're using a pink card base and you want that tone-on-tone effect, you can just cut your die cuts from pink cardstock. Or if you want your embellishment die cuts to have a little more impact, you can cut them out of a contrasting color of cardstock, and that gives you a little more pow. So there you have it, a Valentine's card featuring die cuts as embellishments. It is super fun to do this, and like I said, easy, simple, and you never run out. Now, as always, I will have links to the featured products used in this project in the description at YouTube. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. Or you can head on over to the coordinating blog post, and I will have that linked below as well. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies. As always, thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here on this YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the paper crafting and card making video tutorials shared here. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.